It's me, Donnée Patrese, and I'm talking today about my last video. I discussed what readers want to know about writers, and in that video, I talked about just things like naming characters and how I picked the cities and how I picked just different things about characters. In that video was a little longer than I wanted it to be, so this one I'm hoping is a lot shorter, but we're going to discuss those things, but they're going to be pertaining to my last book, which is Burned Daily Desires. So in Burned Daily Desires, I have three main characters, Kimberly Lawson, Kenneth Johnson, and Malcolm Johnson. Kenneth and Malcolm are brothers, and Kimberly is the thing that could tear that brotherly love apart. And so how I picked their names. Kimberly I picked because I know a lot of Kimberlys, and I just like the name Kim too. So I picked that name because I just felt like it was a strong name for a woman. And I like the fact that you can use the nickname Kim and then use the name Kimberly. And then that sets the characters apart because one character can call her Kimberly and you know who that is. And then one character can call her Kim and that sets them apart. It's a good way for writers to be able to show readers the personalities of different characters. I picked Malcolm because his personality is he's short. He's a short man, short black man. And he wants to be bigger than life. He likes to be intimidating, even though he's short. And I wanted to give him a really strong name. And I've always thought that Malcolm was a really strong name. And I also thought that if I had a son, which I don't, I would name him Malcolm. I just really like that name. So I chose Malcolm for him. And then his brother, his younger brother, Kenneth, I chose that name because I used to have a teddy bear named Kenneth. And the Kenneth in this story is a big teddy bear. Like he's just really soft and gentle and very romantic. And I thought this would be perfect. So I named him Kenneth. And I thought it would be just a perfect match for him. And it's a softer name and it gives away his personality, just like Malcolm does. And I thought that these three names would play well together in this story. Burned is set in a city, like the downtown guttural part of the city, because the lounge that they work at is kind of like the underbelly of the city. It's a nice when you go in, but on the outside it's a little gritty. And that's what I wanted to portray. Because it's nice, but it's also full of escorts and women who are, working in the sex industry. And they are, so inside is really nice. But it's still downtown, and so it has to have a look on the outside of more discreet, so you don't know what's inside, because you don't want people to know that it's an escort service, basically. And like I said before, this book is an erotic romance murder mystery. So these women are vulnerable because they're meeting with men they've never met before. And these are strange men to them. And so they're putting themselves in danger on a daily basis to make money. And though they have people who are there who care about them and want to protect them, they're still putting themselves in vulnerable situations. So they come in contact with somebody who wants to do them harm. And we're trying to find out who that person is to save other women in the lounge. This city has seasons. It's my ode to Indiana, where I'm born and raised. And so it has seasons. You're gonna have rain, snow, sleet, that slushy mix of weather. And that's because not only is it because of where I was born, but also because it's fun to write. It's just absolutely fun to write those type of things. And I know and I hope that it's fun to read, to have the different weathers and the different words. Because in my last video, I told you that writers, we are lovers of words, and being able to just use different language and things like that to write the weather is fun for us. And I hope it's fun to read. And Burned was fun to write. Is one of my favorite books. And I feel like it's going to be one of those fun things for you to read as well. And it's a guttural book. It's a little gritty, because some of the characters are a little gritty. Like I was telling you before, maybe not so much Kenneth, because his personality just doesn't portray that. But Malcolm has been a part of this world for a long time, and he wants to keep his baby brother out of it. And that's why Kenneth is so sheltered, because Malcolm has basically sheltered him from the gritty world that is the Inferno Lounge. He has kept him out of it, kept him from it. And so Kenneth is a little naive when it comes to being involved with escorts and things like that. And so is Kim. She's been sheltered and kept away from that world. But then she just decides to go head first into it. And they're both just too naive to be able to handle something like that. And Malcolm sees this and he knows this. And he's basically trying to save them both. And it's a whirlwind of love and lust and murder and death, and just trying to be protected from this killer that's out there. And the police are trying their best to find out who it is, but the owners of this lounge have the police, under their belt, and they're working against not necessarily trying to find the killers, but they just don't want any trouble, and they want to continue to make their money. And one girl, two girls, maybe three girls dead doesn't, it maybe affect their pocketbook, but it's easy to find replacements. And that's where they are in this book. So I hope you pick it up. I hope you give it a read. I think it's worth it. But I just know that as a writer, it's fun to get those characters out, because sometimes it's like a curse when you have these stories in you and you can't get them out. And I know for a fact that once you get that story out, it feels so much better. And seeing these characters come to life is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. like, comment, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe so that you can get more videos like this. Like I said, in the description, there's a buy me a coffee link, and you can buy me sushi instead of coffee because I don't drink a lot of coffee. I do have Starbucks rewards and I do have Dutch Bros rewards, but I usually get tea or soda. So I would say buy me sushi. You can support me so that I can continue to get these amazing covers. Yes, so I can continue to get these amazing covers, especially like these. So I can definitely use your support. Until the next video, bye guys.